Hey guys, it's Ty here. Happy Saturday. Thank you for joining me for the sixth episode of the Weekend Watch Talk. Let's do a wristwatch check. Got my Rolex GMT Master 16700 on today from 1989. I actually remember that year very well, and I do love this timepiece. So, what will we talk about today? Well, I want to talk about flipping watches, and specifically, I want to ask the question, is flipping watches a positive way to get into the watch hobby? Now, about 4 years ago, I got into this hobby in a real serious way in terms of researching and I really dove into it. So I made a list of just some of the brands that I purchased and I flipped to get the next acquisition, which is kind of how I define flipping, which is buying a watch, having it for a certain amount of time, and then selling it to get the next watch. So I'll just name a few that I just jotted down this morning: Tissot, Luminor, Shinola, Squale. I had a bunch of Seikos, Hamilton, Marathon. Had a Zinn EZM3 for over a year, which I loved. Dan Henry 1939. Had a couple of G-Shocks I don't own anymore, and then about four different types of Omegas. So I used all those acquisitions to pretty much buy the next piece. And I'm wondering, I mean, for me, I would say it was a positive way to get into the hobby, and I'm wondering how it was for you. Now, those are sort of what I consider the tier one or tier two watches in terms of price point. But then when I got into more of the high end watches like this Submariner 116610, I sort of I felt kind of done with flipping. I felt like I really wanted to enjoy the pieces that I had and that I have. And so I'm wondering for you guys if it was sort of a phase, because I feel like that's what I went through, and I appreciate sort of starting on the lower end tier of the watch collecting game, because I really got into the research and the history of the brands and the history of the watches and just really finding out what I was buying. If I play devil's advocate, I would say maybe a negative point of that would be that I didn't really fully appreciate some of the watches that I had, because there were some I would have for a week and then just put it right back on eBay. And for whatever reason, size, or I just wanted the next new piece. So that's a kind of a human condition, I think, where we sometimes just get what we want, get our acquisition, and then right away we want that next new piece or that next new thing or the next new relationship, whatever it is, not to get too psychological. But so in terms of watches, I think for me it was a positive thing to get into in terms of flipping. And then I'm kind of happy that I'm not in that phase anymore. But I'm wondering what you guys think. Maybe you got into it the same way, or maybe you don't flip your watches. I've heard of some people on the watch forums that share that they've never sold a watch. They own every watch that they have ever bought. So which is an interesting sort of thing to look at. I have 8 watches, and I don't think I would want more than like 10 at the most. But I know there are collectors that have hundreds. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you soon.